having a bolster handy. And then, I usually, when I do yin, I have a blanket over my mat, but especially this time of year, I think it's just kind of extra nurturing and warm to have another blanket on top of the mat. And maybe have one to cover yourself with as well. In fact, I'm going to just grab mine. I think you can never have enough blankets. Let's just begin. Maybe just lying down in Shavasana to start as we sink into the space together. Even though we've been sitting here together for a few minutes, let's find the same shape. That being Shavasana, lying on our backs. And feeling that back body on the floor and completely supported along our entire back body. Our back body is where we energetically receive. We give out the front and we receive along the back. So allow the support of the earth, the stability of the ground below, allow that to give as we receive along the back of the body. Breathe in and breathe out. Just winding down from our day behind us. Maybe wiggle the toes and flex and point the feet. Open and close the hands. And then maybe curl the toes, clench the fists, and maybe clench the entire body. And then just let it go, relaxing all the muscles in the body. Maybe doing that one more time if that feels supportive. And then letting it out with a sigh, inviting in relaxation. Let's fill the stomach and the chest and the upper chest with our breath, and then letting it go. Inhale to fill the stomach, the chest, the throat. And exhale, letting the breath go. Inhale, fill the stomach. Chest rises, throat fills, and then exhale. Letting go of any effort. In the name of Yin Yoga, let's invite surrender. Invite some receptivity. And allow some winding down into our space. Maybe lift the shoulder blades off the ground and then place them back onto the earth, noticing them flat, some space between them. And exhale. Now in the name of Yin, perhaps bringing to mind an area of your life, of our lives, where we can add a little dose of Yin. Somewhere where we sometimes find ourselves full speed ahead. And sometimes we have to be full speed ahead, right? That's the world we live in. Sometimes we have to be quick and we have to be moving. It'd be unrealistic to say that we don't. But is there an area of our life where we can bring in a little bit more response versus reaction. A little more reflection instead of impulse. Where can we bring in a little more surrender in place of fear or control? I heard it said that control is fear's favorite strategy. Control is fear's greatest strategy. So perhaps inviting in some trust into our space in the name of Yin Yoga. Now transitioning from Shavasana, let's find a happy baby for maybe 2 minutes. So maybe we let the blanket still kind of be on the feet, or maybe just across the chest, or maybe on the legs, however way makes sense. But find the outer edge of the feet with the hands, or maybe the big toes with the hands. And don't pull the feet down, but just let the hands rest. And let gravity and the weight of your arms let those be what brings those knees down. We'll be here for just a couple minutes. Close the eyes and really relax the face. We let out a sigh. Our muscles stretch in about 30 seconds. So in Yin Yoga, targeting the connective tissue and the fascia and the joints. We surrender here in these shapes for longer than 30 seconds. Allowing to go deep within the tissues of the body. Can we relax the arms even though they might be extended long? Let's inhale, exhale, and inhale, exhale. Breathe in, and let the breath go. Gently bring those feet down towards the floor and let the legs be long. Maybe find that blanket on the legs again. And let your body come into your rebound back to Shavasana where we started. And just let that chi move and flow in your body. Maybe the chi has a temperature. Maybe you feel it moving in a certain direction. Maybe you don't really notice it at all. Allow yourself to drop into your physical body. Let's breathe in and exhale. Let the breath go. Now gently rolling over to one side, we'll make our way up to our seated position to begin a series on the low body tonight. Have that blanket nice and handy to cover the legs up with, or maybe you want to drape it over your back. So our first shape, this is for our outer glutes. So there's a couple of different ways we can do this. So if you want to come into square, which is your left leg on the bottom first, and you can stack your right foot on your knee and the right knee on top of that left ankle, or you can have that left foot in front and have the right leg behind it. And then we'll fold forward. You might feel that on the outer glute. And if that's not quite cutting the mustard, you can stack the knees on top of each other in our shoelace. And if those aren't accessible, then just come onto your back and we'll have our figure four. And that's our other option for that outer glute. We'll be here for about 5 minutes. So if there's one that feels a little more tolerable than the other, find that for yourself. So figure four or a shoelace with knees stacked, or the feet kind of shins either on top of each other or one behind each other. It's our other option. Yep. Or you can stack. And just sink into the shape. And just like a nice cup of tea, allow yourself to steep in your Yin Yoga. Immersing yourself in surrender, reception, reflection. It's normal for the body to cool down in Yin, so this time of year it's awfully sweet to have those blankets, so allow yourself to be in balance. Feel yourself attuning to balance, to harmony. If it's helpful, you can inhale to a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. Do that over and over. Maybe organically you extend the exhale. maybe you purposefully extend that exhale a little longer than the inhale. We're about halfway done with this shape, so just savor the shape, maybe tolerating the shape, but ultimately the benefits of the shape are filling our being on every level. You can trust our Yin Yoga. Let's slowly begin a round of 3 breaths. And at the bottom of your 3rd exhale, whatever shape you're in, unwind, unstack, and then come down to your back for your shavasana, your rebound. And as we say in our Yin Yoga, that the proof is in the rebound. The rebound is pretty remarkable. So allow yourself to really settle into your rebound. Maybe notice where you feel it in the body, and then just let go of awareness. Allowing the letting go aspect of Yin fill our space. And we can just breathe. And eventually, even letting go of all awareness of breath as we sink into surrender. One more breath in. Exhale, let the breath go. Now we'll gently roll over to one side. Press up to our seated position, or just up to, not on our backs, I should say. We don't necessarily have to be seated, but let's bring our bolster behind us. And then with that bolster behind us, we'll bring our right leg out and our knees bent, and then our left leg, our knee is kind of in the same area as our heel. So here's my heel, and then the knee is kind of behind it, and then the left ankle is kind of in line with the knee, or it can be splayed out. And now we can lean back over the bolster, and maybe we feel an opening in our quads. You might feel it more on the left side than the right, and sometimes you can even bring that right leg out. You can straighten the right leg if you need to, because the stretch is probably on the left as we lean back. So this is one option for our quad stretch, and our other one is a little more yang than yin. But if you want, you can come up to kind of our low lunge and then just find the foot with the leg. And we'll be here for 5 minutes. So if you don't feel it on your seated recline, then maybe come up and hold that foot in the hand in a low lunge. If you're leaning back on a bolster, you can bring your arms overhead if you want. You can even drape one arm over the body and kind of hold, press one hand on the elbow, activating some meridians in the arms, but it's totally up to you. When we bend our legs, that's activating our stomach meridian. That stomach helps us digest our experiences, helps us process. You might want to move the bolster out from underneath the back as your leg begins to open, as that fascia loosens up a little bit. But you don't have to. Even if it is loosening, you can still remain on the bolster, and maybe do so tonight just to remind yourself that you're supported. And if you're in a low lunge with your foot, you can also release the foot and then draw it back up to the hand. Relax the face. Relax the inner ear. Relax the back of the neck. Allow yourself to settle into the space, settle into the silence, and just be. Let's breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And exhale, let the breath go. If your arms are extended overhead, draw them down beside you. Then we'll gently kind of straighten the legs out first. If you're in your low lunge, lower the legs, come onto your belly. If you're on the bolster, just roll over and move that bolster out of the way. And then make your way to your back for your rebound. Maybe you draw the knees into the chest for a moment if that would feel good in the low back after the bolster. Just breathe in and out. And then let go of the breath. On your next exhale, gently rolling over, it's going to come upright again off the floor. Our glute stretch on the other side. So now this time, you can bring that left shin closest in and the right shin in front if you like to stagger. So it would look kind of like that on the floor. So your right shin's in front, or you can stack the knee, the right knee on top of that left foot. And then the other option would be the right knee on the bottom and the left knee on top for shoelace. So those are some options for that outer glute. Or then the other one, we'll bring the right foot to the ground, the left ankle on the leg for a reclined figure four. So there's options here. So reclined figure four, or you can do any of the seated, stacking knees, stacking foot on knee. And then soften the front of the body, soften the throat and the chin. And that meridian that runs along the outer hip, this glute area, that's our gallbladder. And that gallbladder meridian helps us with our decision making. Our gallbladder works in tandem with our liver. So the liver is the creative aspect of our being. When it's balanced, it's that creativity. And working with the gallbladder, that gallbladder helps carry out all the liver's wildest dreams. Making decisions, moving forward. So resting here in creativity, resting in the thoughtfulness behind an idea. Allowing ourselves to be just resting in this space that if there's something that we're waffling over that we can't quite decide on, that maybe the decision will bubble up when we give this gallbladder some space and time to really shine and to be. As we nurture our gallbladder, it will help balance our liver, perhaps releasing any anger that might be hiding out in that liver meridian. Take a moment and notice if you're holding your breath. Just remember to breathe. Now let's exhale. 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 Now releasing the stack that we might have, whatever shape we're in, and then coming back to our rebound, extending legs long. And feel the reset, feel the experience of rest. Let's exhale. And together we'll roll to one side. We'll come upright again, grabbing that bolster, having it handy behind us. Now we'll bring, coming into that hamstring stretch on the other side, we'll bring the right leg to bend. That right foot is kind of towards the glute a little bit. Our left leg can be out long and we'll recline over the bolster, or you can bring that foot towards the left leg towards the knee. Sometimes for me, I don't feel the stretch until I bend my knee. For some people, they don't feel it unless they straighten the leg. And the other option would be finding a low lunge and grabbing the foot with the hand. Knowing that we'll be here for 5 minutes. This is a little more active with the foot grab. Now resting back. Knowing that each side is different. So you might not even need the bolster on this side. For me, I'm not feeling it, that stretch, unless I get rid of the bolster on this side. Where the other side was just fine with the bolster. So know that each side is its own experience. Allowing yourself to drop into wherever you're at. Again, you can bring arms up overhead. It's going to access those heart and lung meridians, to name a couple. You can also drape the left arm over the chest and just hold the arm there, or not hold, but just press the right hand across that arm. And in the name of Yin Yoga, just feeling the nervous system settle in balance. Allow the receptivity of Yin to strengthen your being. Yeah, good. Might be in an entirely different shape on this side than the other side. Strong. Breathing into the space, the front of the leg. Breathing out. That right side of the body is that masculine energy, that more active part of our lives. So for those of us that need to go a little deeper to access the muscle on that, might be our body saying that we might need to slow down just a little bit because we're active. We've got that male energy kind of moving, right? So that's exactly why we're here. For balance. For breath. Again, maybe for a moment, bringing our awareness to an area of our life where we are really active, where we have that solar energy that keeps us in motion. And again, that's important. We have to be in motion. We have to function in this world. But if we overdo it, it can lead to depletion and fatigue, to irritability, to anger. So just bringing in the idea of balance. Let's exhale. 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 Now slowly release the hand from the foot. Make your way to your belly. If you were in your low lunge, you're on your back. Slide the legs long. Maybe bring the knees to the chest. And then find your shavasana, your rebound. Maybe let out a big sigh when you get there. I think most of us are in a room by ourselves, so we can even do a little scream therapy if we need to. Our lunar energy of Yin Yoga is really mothering. And it's a warm, gentle mother. So it's nurturing. So imagine being in a space where there's no judgment and there's no criticism, but just a deep, penetrating love and acceptance. So let's attune to that right now. Attune to nourishment and acceptance. Attune to being held and supported. Attune to being thoughtful, reflective. And program that into your being right now. Feel that acceptance of being loved just for being who you are. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to perform a certain way, produce. Just be. And that's all you need to do. Let's roll over again, coming up to an upright position. All this talk of our liver meridian, we're going to come into our dragonfly, which is that inner leg. So it's our feet nice and wide. And again, the liver's on the inner leg. So just bring your feet apart. Maybe you bring that bolster in the middle or bring some blocks, another cushion. Let the feet fall wherever they fall. And then fold over that cushion. Maybe the blanket is draped across your back or the legs. You might feel this stretch in the back. You might feel it in the hamstrings, the back of the legs. Just allow yourself to surrender. And again, we receive on the back body. So imagine Father Sky just blessing our space along the back body with wisdom. Just allow yourself to be Inviting in that creativity of our liver. Our spleen meridian also runs along the inside of our legs, and that's what supports us in being empathetic. A safe balance of empathy. Not codependent, not taking on other people's problems, but just empathetic. And this is our last shape of the evening before Shavasana, so you're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. And then just go ahead and make your way to Shavasana whenever you feel ready. Just allow yourself to let go. Steeping our entire being in the aspects of Yin Yoga, the receptivity, the nourishment, the thoughtfulness, the responsiveness. The ability to be the ability to surrender, and then that element of trust. Just stewing in trust in order to let go of control, which will release fear and make way for love. And you're welcome to stay in your Shavasana. We have about 3 more minutes of class. You can stay in Shavasana, or if you'd like to give yourself time to practice some pranayama, you can practice pranayama of your choice. Exhale. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.